So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at a back-to-back, also known as a double stem and leaf plot. Now, in order to use these, we do need to have two sets of data, and that's why we use a double or a back-to-back stem and leaf plot. It's to help us compare two sets of data. So here I have a set of data for both my period 3 and my period 5 class, and this could be something like their quiz scores. Now, if I want to go ahead and create a back-to-back stem and leaf plot, that means I'm going to go ahead and create a table. And in this particular table, my stem is right in the middle, so I'm going to draw two vertical lines to represent the stem. And I'm going to draw one horizontal line to go ahead and have a leaf on both sides. So when I take a look at my data, once again, I do want to go ahead and look at all my tens values for both classes. So I have my 20s, I have my 30s, and I also have my teens. So for both classes, I have them in the tens values, the 20s values, the 30 values, and that's about it. So my tens, 20s, and 30s. So I'm going to go ahead and write down a 1 for my tens value, a 2 for my 20s value, and my 3 for my 30 value. Now I just need to go ahead and determine which side is going to be period 3 and which side is my period 5. Now typically I usually go to the right, so I'm going to go ahead and call period 3 the right side, and I'm going to go ahead and call period 5 the left side. So I'm just going to go ahead and focus on period 3 first. Now with my period 3, I'm just going to go ahead and put in my data. And again, I'm going to go ahead and look at my teen values first, and those are my tens. So I only have one, which is 18. So I'll just go ahead and put an 8 next to the 1 to represent that 18. Then I'm going to go ahead and look at my 20s value. So I'm just going to go ahead and circle all my 20s, and I have quite a few of those. And I want to also make sure that I put them in order from least to greatest on my stem and leaf plot. So I do have a 3. I do have 2 5s. I have a 6. And again, if it helps, you just cross them out as you go. Then go ahead and do so. I have an 8, and then I also have a 9. Okay, so I got all of my 20s. And now I have my 30 values, and I'm just going to go ahead and put those 30s right over here. And it looks like that I only have, my values only goes up to 30. So it looks like these quiz scores maxed out at 30. So a perfect score would be a 30 out of 30. So I got 3 of those. I'm going to do the same thing for period 5, except notice how I'm going to go ahead and put in my data with my leaf. Now I'm going to go ahead and start off with my tens value. I have 19, 19, and I have an 18. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in order from least to greatest. And I'm going to put in an 8, a 9, and then another 9. And notice that when I put them in order from least to greatest, I'm going in order from right to left, from my stem growing out into my leaf. So that's going to cover my tens. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my 20 values. So I have 27, 29, 29, 20, 25, and 26. So I'm going to put those in order. So I have a 20. I'm going to put in a 0. I'll cross that out. Then I have a 25, a 26, a 27, and I have two 29s. And then finally, I have my 30s value, and it looks like that I only have 130, so I'm going to put in that 130 here. So there's my back-to-back stem and leaf plot, and I do need to add one more item, which is my key. Now, for a key in a back-to-back stem and leaf plot, that's a little bit more unique since the stem is in the middle. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a stem in the middle. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on one part, and I'm going to focus on this part right here where it has my 8s and my 1. So I'm going to put the 1 in the middle, and I'll put the 8s on the two sides. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put an equal sign on both sides. So on the right, this is going to say 18 because reading from my stem to the right, it's going to read 18. And on my left, it's also going to be 18 because reading from my stem to the left will be 18. So this tells our reader how do we use a back-to-back stem and leaf plot and how do we read it according to our data. Now, once again, just like the other day, we cannot have the same numbers. So if you do have a key that looks something like this, and you wrote 8 in the middle, and then you have 8s on both sides, this is not going to tell the reader. This is not going to tell the reader if you're reading from left to right or right to left. So this would not be a good example of a key for a back-to-back stem and leaf plot. You cannot use the same exact numbers. So make sure you change up the numbers so that way you could go ahead and read the back-to-back stem and leaf plot. Now in this particular case, we also have the question of which class did better and why. And most people will be able to take a look at their stem and leaf plot and quickly say that period 3 did better. And the reason why is because they had more people who have scored perfect scores with that 30, and they had less people who scored in the 10s or the teens right over here. This in period 3 they only had 1, where in period 5 they had 3 people who scored in the teens. I hope this helped out. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Good luck, enjoy, and have fun.